Welcome to the channel, Allie in Wonderland. I am a first-time annual pass holder to Walt Disney World. When I was little, I went, I think, like 3 times. My dad took me supposedly when I was 4. I kind of remember the Dumbo ride, and I think that's mostly just because of pictures, but I do remember Haunted Mansion. That definitely struck a chord. And then I went again when I was 11 with my best friend Claire and her mom and my mom. We had a blast. We stayed a whole week, I think. And then when I was 15, I went with my best friend Sarah and my mom and her boyfriend at the time. We drove down in an RV. And that was a lot of fun as well. My mom kind of let us go off on our own. So I got to feel like a big grown up person. And then I hadn't been back since. And then whenever I got together with Bruce, who is somebody that loves Disney passionately, you could say it's a hobby for sure. We started going all the time, and I brought my oldest son, Connor, who is 7, for the first time last year. And we went a ton last year, to the point to where this year we knew we were going to do at least 2 trips, and the ticket price had gone up so much that it was just more convenient price-wise to get the annual pass. But I am not the type of person that likes to go for a lot of days at a time. I'm old and I'm tired and I don't like walking. So that's not really a good combination for Disney World in general. It's so big and there's so much walking. But if we don't go past 3 days, 4 days max, but on the 4th day, I'm done. I don't want to go for a long time after kind of thing. I was not sure if an annual pass was really going to be worth it for somebody like me in particular. Now, Bruce, he can do Disney all day. He can go hard all day. He can break. He can do resort hopping. Doesn't matter what it is. He loves all of it. Or me, I really loved when I was pregnant last year, and I was super, super pregnant. So we got me the scooter. That was a really good time. Let me tell you, riding around in that scooter made Disney a whole different experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend a scooter if that's the life you're trying to live.
They see me rolling. They about to be drama around this road.
Now, it is annoying, obviously, when you're trying to transport. Skyliners aren't bad, but if you have more than one scooter in your party, so we did a big family vacation trip last year for my dad's birthday and my niece's birthday. And we had 2 scooters on that trip. It was me and my sister. And we had to take separate Skyliners. And if we got on the bus together at that time, you could only have 2 scooters on the bus. It was still a fun trip, but we're at the point to where I genuinely really enjoy Disney just because we've gone so many times that we can just chill. We don't have to go and do something. And if anything, we might do a few Genie Plus rides and stuff like that here and there, but it's nothing that we really have to push for to rope drop this and go hard and make sure we get this ride and this ride and this ride and this ride. Remember our first trip? We came when it was just me and Bruce one time. And the very first time that he was bringing me, before I brought my son Connor. And did we do 4 parks that day?
No, we did 3 because I didn't like Animal Kingdom at the time. So we skipped Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, but it was a lot. We rope dropped in the morning, and I don't think we took a break in the afternoon, did we? I don't even remember. It was so long ago. But your girl's back was dying. I thought that it was the worst ever. I mean, it was a great time, but I physically just, day 2, I couldn't walk. It was hard. But we've gotten all of that out of our system. Wolfie, what's going on? So since then, I've really enjoyed Disney because we've kind of what do you call it? what's my favorite ride?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy is by far my favorite ride because I am a thriller roller coaster kind of gal. And there's not much of that in Disney World, unfortunately, but they do have some really big, awesome rides like Tron and Space Mountain and all those kinds of things where I can get my thrills in. But like, obviously now we've come so many times that it's a nostalgic thing for me. We've made so many good memories here, and everywhere I turn, like, there's a small piece of something somewhere that kind of just feels like home. Our home that we did buy in Louisiana, in Slidell, which is like 30 minutes outside of New Orleans, unfortunately flooded 3 weeks after we purchased it, and we moved out, and then it flooded again later, and then it flooded again, and then it flooded again, and then it flooded again, and then it flooded again. And so we just started evacuating to Disney World. We're not even in a flood zone. It's not too bad.
I don't think it's horrible.
You said you do think it's horrible?
I don't think it's horrible.
Okay.
You just can't change the light in the middle of the video.
Y'all are fine with it, right? What was I saying?
So we evacuate to Disney World.
Oh, yes. So we evacuate to Disney World a ton, and it really has become our home away from home. And I don't know. I never thought that I would be a person that loves Disney this much. Like, I've always had a good experience, growing up whenever I came here. But it wasn't the kind of thing of like, oh, I can't wait to go back to Disney World. It was just this thing where you go kind of 1 or 2, 3 times in your lifetime, and that's the norm. I couldn't believe when I met Bruce that he went that many times. Like, it just seemed silly. Like, don't you get bored of it, And I would say that that's the one thing too, if you're considering getting an annual pass, if you've gone a bunch of times and you're worried about it getting boring at any point, there is so much stuff to do, especially if you have little kids. Like, no matter if they're just a few months old or if they're under 10, like, they are going to have such a good time. I can't wait to try out the water parks. Like, we haven't even touched that side of Disney World yet. I went to the water parks once on that trip when I was 11. We went to Blizzard Beach, and it was so much fun. Like, I remember all of the again, thrill seeker, right? I love all the adrenaline. The big drop off. I forget what slide that's called. There's some kind of big slide. And it was like, at the time, it was like the biggest, steepest slide that existed or something crazy. I don't know. But there's so much that I still haven't done yet. Like, there's still things that every time I go, I'm like, oh, this trip, can we do this? And then, something happens and we get distracted and we end up having a good time somewhere else. And we're like, okay, next trip. And there's still stuff that I want to do all the time that, we just never get a chance to do. Even if we make it a point, because there's that many things to do, whether or not it's something Disney has specifically set up, like for the kiddos, like KidCot, and there's like an app you can download for Epcot and all that. There's always something more to do. I love how the Disney TVs inside of the resorts, like on the Disney World campus, showcase what there is to do and kind of educates you and teaches you how to use the app and stuff like that. Because I'm very Disney dumb. I'm very lucky that Bruce is very tech savvy and navigates all of it. I mean, I know how to order food and look at times in the park and make reservations and all that kind of jazz. But as far as like today, I just learned how to make a shout out, or they call it like compliment a cast member. That was really sweet because we had somebody that treated us very well at the hotel. And we've had consistent good luck with that. Like, every time something tragic has happened and we've had to come over here, they've ended up taking really good care of us. Like, when we flooded this last time, we lost power in the house and everything. And so we just basically ran away. We're like, we're not sitting in this sweaty, hot house. Like, we're going to just go to Disney, even though we'd just gone the weekend before as like a planned trip. We're like, you know what? Let's just go back. And we asked if we could check in early because our home had flooded, and we drove in the middle of the night, which we've typically kind of been making a habit out of now. and they put us in a really great room, and they sent us like a little gift bag with a special note that was really sweet. And they even asked like what our the kids like loved like character wise, and they put us in a room with my son's favorite character, Pluto. They sent us a Pluto and Grogu and all that. It's the sweetest. So if you're ever like not in a good place, literally go to Disney and tell them what's up, and they will take such good care of you. Disney comes through. So this is the cute little annual pass thing. Wait, I gotta punch all this stuff out so you can really get the full effect. But it's Stitch, and I absolutely love Stitch. I never saw it as a child. I only saw it as an adult, actually recently. But this is it. It's so cute. I love it. But I really love Stitch just because it's kind of like a melded, adopted family kind of situation. And the majority of my family is just people that I've called my family that have absolutely no blood relation to me whatsoever. My cousins are not my real cousins. My stepfamily's not my stepfamily, like legally or blood or any of that, you know, like my dad didn't ever legally adopt me, but my mom married him when I was 2 and they got divorced when I was 4 and he stuck around. And my godmother, her parents are my mama and papa, which are like grandparent names in Cajun. And like all of her nieces and nephews, those are my cousins or whatever. So that like Ohana means family, like that really registers with me. So that's why I really love Stitch. And also Stitch is kind of crazy and my son is kind of crazy. So I see a lot of my son in Stitch. I don't know, but that's I guess why I like him. And then Wolfie, we call him Wolfie the Pooh, and we sing the Winnie the Pooh song all the time with him. Cause see, and we dress him up like Winnie the Pooh. And whenever I was pregnant, I Disney bounded, like with the big Winnie the Pooh belly. It was really sweet. But so I like Winnie the Pooh now a whole lot because of him. And Bruce is a sorcerer Mickey. And who else do you love, character wise?
I mean, Sorcerer Mickey's my go-to dude.
Yeah, and we love Star Wars.
Stitch, Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And his channel, if you wanted to see his stuff, is Bruce Lightyear. We're both on Instagram. This is like my first video, obviously. And yeah. Can you see in the camera? Do you see yourself? He's like, what is this? You smile? He's normally so smiley. He's just in that smiley stage. Yeah. Oh, you smiling at Dada, huh? Basically, if you like smile real slow at him, he will smile. Look at this hair, y'all. I can't. I can't. You're just too cute. You're just too cute. Oh, he's got my hair. All right, Dada. There you go. So anyway, we're gonna be making a bunch of trips to Disney World. We're gonna make a trip to Disneyland for the first time. Me and Bruce neither one of us have ever been to Disneyland. Eventually next year, we're also going to do a Disney cruise, and we definitely want to check out Tokyo and Paris and all the other Disney places. It's going to be a really good adventure. So if you're into this kind of content, stick around and welcome to the family. And that's it. I'll see you in the parks.